Jump successful. Dust storm incoming. Prepare for severe visibility reduction.
This Dregaros breeding area is located in a narrow rocky valley. Its layout works like a large wind tunnel and creates an almost constant dust storm.
It is going to be difficult to fight these creatures in these conditions. We can gather research samples in a more effective way using the bioscanner.
Yes, the bioscanner is going to be much better than any weapon in here. We can use it to scan these creatures from afar without making them aggressive. It is also much quicker at finding good research samples.
Ashley, I'm picking up a magnetic anomaly nearby. It might be worth investigating that area.
Interesting. Maybe that's the real reason why there are so many of these creatures in this area. Let's investigate this. This huge crystal is the source of the magnetic anomaly. Let's get close to it to gather samples.
Be careful, Ashley. It looks fragile.
It's so calm in here. technology has been developed.
Gathering samples completed.
This crystal behaves in a very strange way. It emits a lot of high-frequency electromagnetic waves, but they have a distinct regularity, almost as if a song was playing that's not meant for our ears. Let's research these samples in our lab.
I'm not detecting any more points of interest in this area. We can rift jump back to base as soon as you are ready.
Crystal is destroyed.
Warning! I'm detecting a lot of movement heading our way.
We definitely shouldn't have done that. We've survived that, but I have a feeling that this is going to have consequences. Eruption is over. The situation is stabilizing.
Research lab operational. Acidic yeast scanning in progress.
Great. Now we just have to maintain power to the research lab and let it gather the necessary data.
My sensors are picking up increased movement around our position. We should prepare to defend the research laboratory. Is under attack.
Wind is slowing down. The air is getting dense. A fog is forming up. It's hard to see anything in this fog. Base efficiency is back to normal. through analyzing the root of the acidic yeast colony. The data is already looking very promising.
Ashley, since you built up our research station in this area, I've noticed a change in the growth vector of the acidic yeast colonies around us. It appears that all of them are slowly growing in our direction.
That's very interesting. It looks like we've been recognized as a threat. The colonies are trying to devour our base.
Technology has been developed.
New blueprints are available for crafting. Base is under attack. It looks like an earthquake is coming. It's an earthquake! It's going to seriously damage all buildings near its epicenter.
Seismic activity is decreasing. The research lab has finished gathering data. Objective completed.
The data that we've gathered proves that this life form can digest even the smallest traces of palladium. Palladium normally doesn't react with most acids, but this life form uses a highly concentrated form of fluoric acid that is heated up by the creature's metabolic processes. We can program the orbital scanner to analyze the growth patterns of the acidic yeast colonies. This should help us in finding palladium deposits that these colonies are moving towards.
Affirmative, Ashley. Orbital scanning in progress. Analyzing acidic yeast growth patterns. Orbital scanning finished. We have found something interesting. There are a few areas within the acidic layers that are entirely surrounded by the yeast colonies. Spectral analysis confirms that palladium should be present there. However, the yeast is actively avoiding these zones.
Interesting. If there's palladium there and they aren't interested in it, then something might be preventing them from growing in that area. We should prepare for the unexpected. Base is under attack.
Successful. Orbital scanning indicated that there should be multiple underground palladium deposits hidden in this area. We can use the geoscanner to find them.
It's actually quite calm in here. That's a bit suspicious, don't you think, Mr. Riggs?
Yes, that is abnormal. I'm not detecting any acidic yeast colonies in the area. The local fauna population also seems to be smaller than in the other areas of this biome.
What's this? The geoscanner detected a hidden cache of explosive fluid underground. This functionality is normally used for detecting mine fluids. There are exploding mushrooms underground. This must be the reason why the acidic yeast colonies are not present in this area. Let's be careful here.
Developed.
New blueprints are available for crafting. Slowing down. The air is getting dense. A fog is forming up. It's hard to see anything in this fog.
base efficiency is back to normal. Ashley, I have located a large underground palladium deposit. I have marked its location on our map.
Great. The ones we've been finding so far were really small. Maybe we can find something that we can place an automated mining station on.
fissures are opening up and are erupting with highly corrosive gas. We won't be able to build anything within these clouds. The acidic gas is dispersing. The eruption is over. It's hard to say how often these may happen.
been dropped. We can try to recover it later. The palladium deposits that we've been finding here are too small to build a mining station. However, we've learned how to find it. The data
Research completed.
gathered with the geoscanner can be fed to the orbital scanner to search for mineable palladium. Our mission here is complete. We can return to headquarters to start preparing to build a palladium mining outpost.
Understood, Ashley. I'm starting the orbital scanning procedure and searching for mineable palladium deposits. In the meantime, we should research palladium handling technology to be able to actually construct palladium mining stations.
Technology has been developed.
New blueprints are available for orbital scanning. Finished. We have calculated a favorable location for palladium mining outpost. I am detecting multiple acidic yeast colonies in this area.
That's good. Maybe there will be fewer exploding mushrooms in that area. Either way, we should remember to use the geoscanner frequently.